What is up, everybody? I had to jump on here. Reds, Cardinals tonight. Sal Stewart, nowhere to be found. If you have any comments, hop in the chat. We'll talk about it, but I don't understand what's happening with this Sal Stewart situation. How how on earth is the guy just sitting in uh AAA? He's playing tonight, so he's not even in Cincinnati. He's just playing down in Louisville. I've been telling everybody, I'm pretty confident. I'm pretty confident he will be with the Reds on Friday. And sure enough, he is not. He's in Louisville. We got Santiago Espinal starting. I mean, what is happening? You're in the thick. You're in the thick of a playoff race. You've scored four runs in your last 3 games. You just got swept versus the Dodgers, scoring 4 runs. Instead of making the team better, trying to make the team better, Sal Stewart, who knows, he could come up and struggle. But instead of even trying to make a difference, you just punch Santiago Espinal right back in the lineup. Espinal, let's look at his stats. He's got a 579 OPS on the season. A 579 OPS on the season. And if Espinal doesn't play, you put McLean in there. McLean, 627 OPS on the season. I mean, what are we doing? This is crazy. I put an interesting question, and if you're in here, I'd love to see your comments in the chat. I put an interesting question on Twitter, and I asked, who do you think has the most say in the 26-man roster? Is it Nick Krall? Is it Terry Francona? Is it Brad? I always pronounce his name wrong. I don't know if it's Mito or Meadow or whatever. I don't think it's him. I think we all know it's not him. It's probably Nick Krall or it's probably Terry Francona. If Tito wanted Sal Stewart up, I think he would be up. It's just I don't understand what's going on. We're playing, guys. The Reds have hit less home runs than everybody in baseball since the All-Star break. Less home runs than everybody in the sport. And we just keep running the same guys out there. Andujar's playing hurt. Ellie De La Cruz is playing hurt. So maybe go get some guys that can play offense. Nope. But then they say they care about defense. We stick Noelvi Marte out in center field. You stick Santiago Espinal out in right field. Espinal can't hit, and you're sticking him out in right field. And I mean, it makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense what they're doing. All right, let me pull up. I'm going to pull up some stats. Give me a second here. Since the All-Star break, the stats are truly incredible. And it's not. I know I'm talking about McLean and Espinal. It's not just those guys. It's been a collective effort. It's been a collective struggle since the All-Star break for this whole offense. Let me find some of these numbers, and we'll show you how bad these things have been. All right, since the All-Star break, here we go. Jose Trevino is slashing. He's hitting 162 with a 405 OPS. Listen, I like Trevino. He's a good backup catcher. He's a good defensive catcher. People were saying Tyler Stevenson, get rid of him. He's terrible. Play Trevino every day. Well, you're seeing what happens when Trevino plays every day. He's showed his whole career that he just can't really hit. So that's a big part of it. No Tyler Stevenson, that kind of hurts. Santiago Espinal hitting 231 with a 520 OPS. Espinal doesn't have a home run on the season. I don't know how many extra base hits he has on the season. It can't be like above 10. He's just slapping the ball out there. Every time he gets a hold of him, it goes right to an outfielder. Will Benson, 526 OPS since the All-Star break. Again, he's only had 34 at-bats, so that's probably not fair, but I'd still wish he would get in the lineup every once in a while. He hasn't started one game since being called back up. Matt McLean, 607 OPS. TJ Friedl, 641 OPS. Friedl has not been good since the All-Star break. And I think he's somebody that doesn't, not that I'm trying to blame people, but he's the person on your team getting more bats than everybody else batting in the leadoff spot. He has to be better. You can't have an OPS of 641. He's hitting for almost no power. Sir Boy, thanks for the comment. Unpopular opinion: Sal Stewart isn't ready. Yeah, I thought before the quotation marks, I thought that was your opinion. I wasn't going to agree, but it's crazy. The thing is he might not be ready. Like, he could easily come up and struggle. But at this point, what do you have to lose? The Reds just scored 4 runs in a 3-game series. He's not going to come up and be worse than Matt McClain and Santiago Espinal have been. I would actually understand the front office's decision if this team was playing decently well or hitting the ball decently well. They're not hitting, and they refuse to call up the guy who is hitting. And it's not even just you could make an argument that guys like Rhys Hines should be back up here and given a shot. I know he's struggled in his short times in the majors, but he hasn't really been given a fair shot. And again, is he going to be worse than the guys that are out there playing? Noelvi Marte is he's the only guy hitting. Miguel Andujar's hitting, but he's playing on a hurt quad. Terry Francona said he can't even run. It's just crazy. Ellie De La Cruz, 645 OPS. Spencer Steer, 667 OPS. Austin Hayes, 678 OPS. Brian Hayes, who they traded just to play defense, 707 OPS since the All-Star break. He's been one of the best hitters. The guy we traded who we knew couldn't hit, he's been one of the best hitters. Gavin Lux, 727. Tyler Stevenson, 729. Jake Fraley, 738. DFA'd him. I guess he wanted some more playing time. Well, he had the 3rd best OPS since the All-Star break. Maybe we should have played him more. I don't know. Noelvi Marte, 818, and Miguel Andujar, 1.002. Those are all the OPSs since the All-Star break. So this team, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys in there that have at least 30 at-bats since the All-Star break with an OPS below 700. It's just not going to cut it. It's just not going to cut it. This team needs to find ways to score runs, and I just don't understand the reason. I just don't understand not bringing up a guy that should help you score runs. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But anyway, the Redlegs need to find a way to win tonight. They lost 6 of 7. They've lost 6 of 7 games. They got a 3-game series with the Cardinals, who've been playing better. Lefty on the mound tonight. You got to find a way. Serbo says, I just wonder if the front office is actually going to address the outfield issue in the offseason. I know. It's crazy. I don't know if you saw Carl's comments on the Buster Only show. He said the Reds trading for Hayes and putting Marte in the outfield, that solved some of their outfield issue. Like, can we just maybe sign an outfielder? Maybe that'll help. You can move Marte to the outfield. That's fine. Maybe do that and also still sign an outfielder. There were ridiculous comments like that. It's just ridiculous. Skittles, I was at the Sounds game Sunday. It was fun. Sal was 1 for 5. 1 for 5. That's about – he'll be right on par with Espinal and McClain at that point. Listen, I like Matt McClain. I do. I'm not trying to give Matt McClain a hard time. I think Matt McClain could have a big season next year. I think it might have a lot to do with his shoulder, coming off major shoulder surgery, that he didn't, have a ton of success this year. But it's not going to change. It's been happening for 5 months. And again, Espinal, crazy. It's just crazy. All right. So back to today. Yeah, the Reds they have to find a way to win. They have to find a way to win tonight. You can't lose 7 of 8. The Mets lost last night. You got back down to 4 games. Zach Littell's on the mound. I generally feel pretty good when Littell's on the mound. I feel like he's been pretty good. He's had a couple games that you wish could have gone better. The last game wasn't very good, but I think he's went over 6 innings, almost more than anyone else in the sport this year. So he's done pretty good not giving up the long ball. I know he did last game. He just didn't have it at all. That was easily his worst start. But he gave up a ton of home runs before he got to the Reds. But since he's been over here, he's not given up a ton of power, which is a good thing. But I don't know, man. I mean, this offense has been one of the least fun like Reds offenses I can remember. It's like every night you're sitting there in the fifth inning, they have 1 or 0 runs, and you're just praying like, what is happening? And I think the other thing that is crazy to me is that I think last year I was even probably on the record on a couple shows. I said, I don't really know how much major league hitting coaches matter in like a big way. And that may sound crazy. Some people may agree with me, but like these guys are also talented and they have so many people in their ear. They have coaches that aren't they're hitting coaches in the off season that are telling them something. They have their hitting coaches in season telling them something. But a lot of these guys are so talented. Like it's hard to blame the hitting coach. But this year, I think I've switched on that. I mean, you have Chris Valleca out here telling everybody that the bunt is amazing. You're going to hit line drives. You're going to get 17,000 singles in a row to score. Like, that's not how the game's played anymore. Noelvi Marte bunting the other night was insane. I know Tito said Marte bunted on his own. But you think Noelvi Marte was bunting last season on his own? That's been drilled into his head of, hey, bunts are a good thing. Dude, you're the best hitter on the team right now. Go hit a bomb. Go crush a baseball. Go hit a ball in the gap. But instead, it's like, hit the ball the other way. Bunt the ball. There's places to do that. But it's just crazy. And also, I'm just on an all-time rant the day before the game. I hope the Reds go out and score 27 runs this game. But for a team that preaches small ball, they struck out 19 times the other night. So we're going to make contact and do all this, but then you're going to strike out 19 times in the game. They're 3-9 in extra inning games. So when you start at second base and you preach small ball, but you don't score the guy that starts on second base with 0 runs, maybe your small ball philosophy isn't working either. Yeah, I'm with you, sir boy. Like, I'm one that usually says don't spend 1 ounce of energy worrying about Elly De La Cruz. He's got all the talent in the world. He's going to be fine. But man, he has 1 home run in like his last 55 games now? 55 games or something. He has 1 home run. Like, I'm starting to worry. That's crazy. Now I know he's dealing with a quad injury. So maybe that has something to do with it. There were a couple quotes from Charlie Goldsmith that Charlie Goldsmith got from him today that he doesn't seem, he said it's just part of baseball. But it's 55 games with 1 home run. Like, it's crazy. And then there's all these clips. There's all these people that, try to break down the swing, and he's doing different things. He has a toe tap one at bat, no toe tap in another at bat, which kind of tells you he's probably in his own head a little bit. He's just trying everything. Yeah, I'd gladly take the swing and miss, strike out more if you're going to hit more home runs. This team needs power. And again, Elly has been bad since the All-Star break. And if he can't hit, this team's not going to hit. They need him to be a superstar. They're not deep enough to just, have an up and down strong lineup. Do you think we'd have more wins if he was stealing more if he could? Yeah, I mean, I think last year people were so upset with how often the Reds got thrown out on the bases that they dialed it all the way back this year. But like, what I don't think people realize is they created a ton of runs with their aggressiveness last year. People just were frustrated when they'd get thrown out, but they also did create a ton of runs. It's kind of like when everybody blames the third base coach the only time someone gets thrown out at home. You never credit the third base coach when people are safe at home. That's what was the running game last year. And now you have Elly De La Cruz. It'll be first and third, no outs, first and third, 1 out. And Ellie's just standing on first base. Like, it's just wild. I don't understand why they are not stealing. Again, for a team that's built on small ball, how are you not stealing more than anybody else? It's like they expect to get 7 singles in a row. That's how they're going to score runs. Anyway, at the end of the day, if he gets on 2 times a game with a bomb and a double, strikes out the other 2. Do we really hate that? Yeah, that's how I feel. I don't care about strikeout. If you're going to hit a home run and a double, I mean, look at guys like Kyle Schwarber, Aaron Judge. They strike out a ton. Ohtani strikes out a lot. It's part of the game. Like, the game has changed. It's not get up there and make contact. Do everything you can to make contact and slap the ball around there. Like, go swing hard and, yeah, go get 6 bases on the night. If you strike out twice, who cares? But I don't know. Find a way to win tonight. Find a way to win tonight. That's the key. The last week, that Diamondbacks and Dodgers series, that had me down bad. They had me. You can tell. I mean, that between those 2 series and Sal Stewart not being in the lineup, I just don't get it. I think I've been one to stick up for the front office a decent amount and say they have some limitations. Ownership doesn't give them a ton of money to spend with. But there's no reason Sal Stewart shouldn't be up here. Whether that's on Nick Krall, whether that's on Tito, it just doesn't make any sense. One more thing about Sal Stewart. I'm probably going to be on here 5 more minutes or so, and then that'll be it. We'll go watch the game, have some fun, enjoy a Friday night. Hopefully we enjoy a Reds win. But Sal Stewart, not only is he not in Cincinnati right now, he's back down in Louisville, getting the start tonight. He's playing third base. Why is he playing third base? The Reds just traded for a third baseman who's under contract till like 2029. Like, he's not going to play third base in the majors unless you're going to go trade Brian Hayes in the offseason, which that would be a crazy move after you just traded for him. But just keep ripping him out there at third base. He's played second a couple times this week, so you're like, okay, they're just going to have him focus on second now. Nope, right back tonight. They just put him right back at third base. Playing Edwin Rios at first base. Edwin Rios, listen, the guy crushes minor league pitching. I don't think Edwin Rios is part of this future. Shout out Edwin Rios, but Edwin Rios is not getting called up to the Reds. I think you can find a way for Sal Stewart to play first base. Play him at first base. And Edwin Rios, I don't think you need to find his bat in the lineup. Connor Joe, DHing. I don't think you need to find playing time for Connor Joe down in AAA Louisville. But I just don't get it. There's so many decisions that I just don't understand that are happening. Again, and this is coming from someone I feel like I stick up. I still like I stick up for the front office a decent amount. But there's just no excuse that he shouldn't be in Cincinnati tonight with how bad the Reds offense has been lately. So, all right. Anyone else have any comments, questions in the chat before I hop off here? Go catch the end of Reds Live. And then whatever it is called now. Is it Reds Live? Is that old? I don't know. The pregame show. The Rally Reds. They used to call that thing all sorts of stuff. Josiah says the Reds have no damn plan. That's sure what it feels like. It sure feels like they have no plan. Listen, I thought all along, I was telling people, I was like, okay, people were like, they don't want to call them up for the West Coast, which I think stupid. Just call them up when you can't just be like, oh, we're not going to call them up for these 6 games because, oh, God forbid he goes out there on a private jet with the team on the West Coast. You can't start him on the West Coast. That's stupid. But whatever. I would have understood it. Whatever. I would have was like, okay, that's dumb, but whatever. I was determined he was going to be called up today. I was determined they were just waiting for the homestand. And then what do you know? You get the Reds line up at about 3:00, and you're like, Sal Stewart's not up. They haven't announced any transactions. And then you're like, okay, you're starting to hear some rumors. Maybe he's in Cincinnati. They're just giving him the day off. They'll activate him tomorrow. And then Louisville puts out their lineup. The Bats got to be loving this, by the way. The Bats lineup interactions on social media, they're just getting that engagement. They're getting more follows than anybody. Just people that complain about Sal Stewart not being with the Reds. They got to be loving putting that lineup out every day. But I just don't understand it. What's worse, Barry Larkin commenting or the Reds offense? Listen, I feel bad when I don't think Barry Larkin is the best commentator, but I do feel bad kind of when I bash Barry Larkin. I don't think I bash him publicly. I think he also follows me on Twitter, so I try to be nice. I have a Barry Larkin jersey. Like, Barry Larkin is an awesome player. He just goes silent on he just goes silent on the broadcast. I don't understand. And he also preaches the small ball stuff that doesn't work. So I don't know. I'll say the Reds offense is worse because there's nothing. I don't think there's anything worse than the Reds offense right now. In my opinion, if he's not called up Monday, they aren't calling him up. I mean, if they don't call him up with expanded rosters, my only hope is I know it's looking like the Reds aren't going to make the playoffs, but you'd think that there's still a small chance. You would think if there is that chance, you'd want to be able to have him eligible for the playoffs. For him to be eligible for the playoffs, he has to be on the 40-man roster by September 1st. He's not on the 40-man roster now. So in the next 2 days, he would have to go onto the 40-man roster. And guess who's on the 40? Everyone says, "Oh, who are you going to kick off the 40-man roster?" Guess who's on the 40-man roster? Connor Joe. Listen, Connor Joe, cool, nice guy. He doesn't need to be on the 40-man roster. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Guys need to get a few get-right games under their belt with the crew before adding Sal. I don't think I understand what that means. With their current crew, I don't know. I just call him up and add him, play him. Might be your second best hitter behind Noelvi Marte at the moment. But anyways, all right, guys, I appreciate you that we're on here, comment and do all the fun things. Hey, if you're still in here, click the like button. It really helps me, helps the channel. This channel, it's wild how it's growing. I know not many people come on the lives yet, but people do watch the videos. It's cool to see the channel grow. So appreciate all of you guys. Let's hope and pray. Let's hope and pray the Reds get a dub tonight because they lost 6 of 7. They can't lose 7 of 8. The Mets lost last night, so 4 back. Maybe the Mets will lose again tonight. They win, get to 3 back. We'll all start believing again. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, again, appreciate you guys being here. Reds starting in about 17 minutes. We'll see you next time. Go Reds.